Amy Slaton's life has always been under the glare of the public eye, every moment of vulnerability documented and analyzed, every success dissected and debated. But beneath the cameras, the editing, and the headlines, there exists a quieter story, one that is softer, infinitely more profound, and yet unseen by most. The story of her children, Gage and Glenn. They are the axis around which her life revolves, the reason she navigates the chaos of fame, scrutiny, and personal transformation with such unwavering determination. From the moment they entered her life, tiny and fragile, wrapped in blankets and curiosity, Amy felt a love so deep it reshaped every decision she had ever made or would make in the future. Holding them in her arms for the first time, she experienced a flood of emotions, joy, fear, awe, and a sense of responsibility so intense that it felt almost physical, pressing down on her chest like the weight of the universe. The cameras captured her smile, her tears, the excitement in her eyes, but they could not capture the silent vow she made to protect these children, nurture them, and provide for them everything she could possibly give, even if it meant sacrificing pieces of herself along the way. Life in the Slaton household is an intricate choreography of care, attention, and emotional awareness. Each day begins with a rhythm that is uniquely dictated by the needs, moods, and personalities of Gage and Glenn. Gage, with his inquisitive nature, approaches each day as a new adventure. His wide eyes, always observing, take in details that others might miss. The way the light falls across the kitchen table, the subtle changes in his mother's expression, the cadence of conversation in their home. He is fearless in his curiosity, asking questions that challenge Amy to respond thoughtfully, to provide answers that are not only truthful, but also nurturing. Glenn, in contrast, is quieter, more introspective. He absorbs the emotional energy around him like a mirror, reflecting moods and tensions, but does so in a subtle way that often goes unnoticed by those outside the household. Yet Amy notices, as any devoted mother would. She has learned to read the smallest signs, a glance, a sigh, the way Glenn holds his hands or tilts his head, because these small gestures reveal volumes about their emotional state and needs. Motherhood, for Amy, is both grounding and demanding. The ordinary tasks of daily life, preparing breakfast, coordinating school schedules, managing appointments, and ensuring the children's health and nutrition, are infused with meaning because each action is performed with intention. She knows that every choice, no matter how mundane it may seem, contributes to the emotional and psychological development of her sons. She is hyper-aware of the balance between encouraging independence and providing guidance. When Gage insists on cutting his toast by himself, she allows him the space to do so, even if the risk of a mess or minor accident exists, understanding that learning comes from doing. When Glenn observes quietly, absorbing lessons from both his brother and mother, Amy recognizes the importance of patience, of modeling behavior without overwhelming him with instruction. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to instill confidence, self-reliance, and a sense of security in a world that can often feel unpredictable and overwhelming. Amy's journey as a mother is inseparable from her personal struggles and growth. Her own weight loss journey, health challenges, and experiences in the public eye have shaped her parenting style in ways both visible and invisible. She understands firsthand the pressures of scrutiny, judgment, and the relentless gaze of those who feel entitled to critique her every move. This awareness has heightened her protective instincts over Gage and Glenn. She is determined that they will grow up knowing love, acceptance, and stability, free from the insecurities and criticisms that have haunted her own life. She structures her days around their needs, often sacrificing her own rest and comfort to ensure that they are emotionally and physically supported. Every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every private tear is a testament to the weight of responsibility she carries and the depth of her commitment to their well-being. The emotional intelligence Amy exhibits as a mother is remarkable. She has learned to recognize the subtle interplay of feelings, moods, and desires in her children, responding with care that is nuanced and deeply empathetic. Gage's questions often reflect not just curiosity, but a developing understanding of the world's complexity, and Amy responds in ways that honor his intellect while nurturing his emotional growth. Glenn's quiet observations reveal a sensitivity that she nurtures gently, allowing him to express himself on his own terms while providing a secure foundation of guidance and reassurance. The differences between her children are celebrated rather than suppressed, and Amy skillfully creates an environment where both boys feel valued, understood, and empowered to explore their identities. Even the smallest routines become rich opportunities for bonding and development. Mealtimes, often chaotic in most households, are moments of teaching and interaction. Amy uses these times to model patience, demonstrate problem-solving, and reinforce social skills. The act of sharing food, negotiating preferences, and discussing daily events becomes a microcosm of life's larger lessons, imbued with the subtle power of consistency and attention. Bedtime routines, too, are sacred. Reading stories, discussing feelings, and sharing quiet moments allow Amy to reinforce emotional connection, provide comfort, and create memories that will linger long after childhood. Each laugh, tear, and whispered, "I love you," is a stitch in the tapestry of their lives, woven with care, intention, and an unwavering presence. Amy also understands that love is not static but dynamic, requiring constant engagement and adaptation. Her children's personalities, interests, and needs evolve daily, and she meets each shift with flexibility, patience, and insight. Gage may display bursts of independence one day, followed by uncertainty the next, while Glenn may oscillate between reserved reflection and spontaneous affection. Amy navigates these fluctuations with grace, ensuring that both children feel validated, secure, and supported regardless of their mood or behavior. She recognizes that her presence, attention, and modeling of empathy and resilience are the greatest gifts she can provide. Beyond the daily routines, Amy cultivates experiences that broaden her children's horizons and nurture their growth. Simple outings, trips to parks, visits to museums, community events, or nature explorations become opportunities for learning, discovery, and connection. She encourages questions, creativity, and critical thinking, teaching them that curiosity is a lifelong pursuit and that mistakes are opportunities for growth. By exposing them to diverse experiences and modeling a love of learning, Amy lays the foundation for intellectual, emotional, and social development that will serve them for years to come. Amy's role as a mother extends far beyond the daily routines and structured lessons. It is in the quiet, unobserved moments that her influence is most profound. When Gage wakes before dawn, sometimes unable to sleep or stirred by a dream, Amy is already attuned to his presence, quietly entering his room to offer comfort without disturbing the fragile tranquility of early morning. She whispers reassurances, her voice soft but steady, grounding him in the security of her love. Glenn, meanwhile, often rises later, slower to greet the day, but equally dependent on the assurance that Amy's attention and care are constants in a world that is frequently unpredictable. These moments of gentle vigilance, unseen by the public and unnoticed by casual observers, form the bedrock of the children's emotional stability. Amy has learned that the consistency of presence, even when unremarkable or unnoticed, is far more valuable than grand gestures broadcast for attention. Her children's personalities continue to emerge, revealing complexities that require nuanced guidance. Gage exhibits an early tendency toward leadership, often taking initiative in games, projects, and even daily tasks. He thrives when given responsibilities, yet occasionally struggles with patience or empathy for others, challenges that Amy addresses through subtle instruction, storytelling, and guided reflection. Glenn, quieter and more introspective, demonstrates emotional sensitivity that manifests in acute awareness of his surroundings and the moods of those around him. Amy encourages him to express his feelings, to communicate openly, and to understand that his insights are valuable. The interplay between the two boys' contrasting temperaments creates a dynamic environment, one that demands careful attention, thoughtful intervention, and skillful navigation to ensure that both children feel validated, understood, and supported. Amy's public life inevitably intertwines with her private responsibilities. She is acutely aware of the scrutiny that accompanies her every decision, every appearance, every post on social media. This awareness informs her parenting choices as she strives to protect Gage and Glenn from unnecessary exposure while also modeling resilience and confidence in the face of criticism. She carefully curates what is shared publicly, balancing transparency with discretion, understanding that the long-term well-being of her children is paramount. Even seemingly small decisions, what photos are posted, how moments are captioned, which events are attended, carry weight in shaping their experience of family, privacy, and identity. Amy approaches these decisions with deliberate thought, prioritizing the stability and emotional security of her sons above all else. Education is another pillar of Amy's focus. Beyond the formal structures of school, she seeks to instill curiosity, critical thinking, and a love of learning. Simple conversations become lessons in observation, reasoning, and empathy. A question about why leaves change color in autumn becomes an opportunity to explore biology and the passage of time. A dispute between the boys over a toy transforms into a discussion about fairness, negotiation, and perspective-taking. Amy's approach to education is holistic, blending academic concepts with practical life lessons, ethical reasoning, and emotional intelligence. She understands that learning extends far beyond textbooks and classrooms. It is embedded in daily life, woven through interactions, challenges, and shared experiences. Despite the constant demands of parenting, Amy prioritizes quality time that is unstructured, spontaneous, and joyful. She knows the value of play, laughter, and exploration in fostering emotional resilience. Afternoon trips to the park, impromptu art projects, or simply sitting together in the living room with music playing provide spaces for bonding, creativity, and emotional expression. In these moments, the weight of public scrutiny fades, replaced by the intimacy of shared experience. Gage and Glenn are free to explore, experiment, and express themselves without fear of judgment, knowing that their mother's presence provides a safe and accepting environment. These interactions reinforce trust, deepen affection, and cultivate a sense of belonging that will serve as a foundation for their emotional health throughout life. Amy also grapples with challenges unique to parenting in the public eye. Comments on social media, public opinions about her parenting choices, and the constant comparison to other families present pressures that few outsiders can comprehend. She must filter these influences, protecting Gage and Glenn from exposure to negativity while also modeling healthy coping strategies. She demonstrates resilience, self-compassion, and the importance of boundaries, showing her children that while external judgment is inevitable, it need not define one's sense of self or family identity. Through her example, the boys learn not only how to navigate adversity, but also how to prioritize internal values, relationships, and integrity over superficial approval. Health and nutrition are areas of constant attention and care. Amy meticulously plans meals to ensure her children receive balanced diets while also accommodating preferences and fostering a positive relationship with food. She encourages them to participate in meal preparation, teaching practical skills, responsibility, and the importance of mindful eating. Physical activity, whether structured through play or informal exercise, is encouraged, helping Gage and Glenn develop healthy habits, coordination, and an appreciation for movement. Amy's attention to these areas reflects her broader philosophy of intentional parenting, that small, consistent actions create lasting patterns of well-being, confidence, and self-respect. Emotional growth is nurtured through communication, reflection, and modeling of behavior. Amy regularly engages the boys in conversations about feelings, challenges, and successes. She listens actively, validates their experiences, and guides them toward understanding and managing emotions effectively. When conflicts arise between the siblings, she uses these moments to teach empathy, negotiation, and problem-solving. Through gentle intervention and thoughtful discussion, she helps them recognize the perspectives of others, express themselves constructively, and develop resilience in the face of frustration or disappointment. These skills, she understands, are as crucial as academic knowledge in preparing her children to navigate the complexities of life. Amy's personal experiences also inform her parenting in profound ways. Having faced her own struggles with health, self-image, and public scrutiny, she is acutely attuned to the importance of self-acceptance, perseverance, and resilience. She communicates these lessons to her children, not through lectures, but through example. By demonstrating healthy coping mechanisms, determination in the face of challenges, and the importance of self-care, she equips Gage and Glenn with tools to navigate their own lives with confidence and integrity. They observe her actions, internalize her values, and develop an understanding that life is a combination of effort, reflection, and adaptation, and that love, patience, and kindness are foundational to meaningful relationships. Amy's commitment to her children extends far beyond routine care or structured lessons. It manifests in the smallest gestures, the quiet attentiveness that often goes unnoticed by the world but is deeply felt by Gage and Glenn. She notices when Gage tilts his head in curiosity or hesitates before speaking, understanding that these subtle signals indicate a need for reassurance or guidance. She observes when Glenn's hands fidget or when his gaze drifts to a corner of the room, signaling his mind is processing emotions or internalizing events. These observations allow Amy to respond in ways that are nurturing and instructive without being overbearing, demonstrating a mastery of empathy that is both instinctual and cultivated. Her attentiveness is a language of love, one that her children understand intuitively, even if they cannot yet articulate it fully. The boys' personalities are nurtured in ways that honor their individuality, while fostering a sense of connection and interdependence. Gage's natural curiosity drives him to explore the world aggressively, asking questions that sometimes stretch beyond Amy's immediate knowledge. She embraces these moments as opportunities to teach not only facts but critical thinking, patience, and the joy of discovery. Glenn, more contemplative, learns through observation, reflection, and gentle encouragement, developing self-awareness and emotional intelligence under Amy's careful guidance. The contrasting temperaments of the boys create a dynamic household environment where problem-solving, negotiation, and cooperation become daily exercises in empathy and understanding. Amy skillfully mediates conflicts, reinforces positive behaviors, and fosters mutual respect, ensuring that each child's individuality is celebrated without compromising the sense of family cohesion. Parenting in the public eye brings unique pressures and challenges. Amy is acutely aware that every decision, every moment captured by cameras, and every social media interaction can be scrutinized and misinterpreted. She approaches these pressures with deliberation, carefully considering what is appropriate to share and what must remain private to protect Gage and Glenn's sense of security and normalcy. Even when fans express curiosity or speculation, Amy prioritizes her children's well-being over public approval. She models healthy boundaries, teaching her children that personal privacy and integrity are values worth maintaining, even in a world that often prizes exposure and sensation over substance. Education and learning are central pillars in the Slaton household. Beyond traditional schooling, Amy encourages exploration, creativity, and inquiry through daily interactions. A question about the behavior of animals during winter becomes a lesson in biology and adaptation. A disagreement over a shared toy transforms into a discussion about fairness, compromise, and empathy. These lessons, interwoven seamlessly into daily life, cultivate cognitive and emotional growth while reinforcing the values of patience, understanding, and thoughtful reflection. Amy's approach demonstrates that education extends far beyond textbooks, encompassing life skills, ethical reasoning, and the capacity for emotional intelligence. Amy also prioritizes creating experiences that enrich her children's lives and broaden their perspectives. She organizes outings to parks, museums, community events, and nature excursions, providing opportunities for discovery and engagement with the world beyond their home. She encourages questions, experimentation, and problem-solving, fostering intellectual curiosity and resilience. Each excursion is carefully considered, balancing fun and exploration with meaningful learning, and every experience becomes a memory that contributes to the boys' sense of wonder, security, and attachment. Amy understands that these shared experiences build more than knowledge. They build connection, trust, and the sense of being valued and understood. The emotional landscape of the household is carefully nurtured. Amy engages Gage and Glenn in discussions about feelings, helping them articulate and process emotions constructively. When disagreements or frustrations arise, she models conflict resolution, empathy, and patience. She encourages them to recognize their own feelings while considering the perspectives of others, teaching lessons that are foundational to social and emotional development. Through these interactions, the boys internalize skills for navigating relationships, managing challenges, and understanding the complexity of human emotion. Amy's influence in these formative moments will shape their capacity for empathy, self-regulation, and meaningful connection for years to come. Amy's own personal growth informs her parenting philosophy. Having navigated intense public scrutiny, health challenges, and emotional turbulence, she brings a depth of resilience and self-awareness to her role as a mother. She demonstrates to her children the value of perseverance, self-care, and the importance of making intentional choices. Gage and Glenn witness firsthand how their mother navigates adversity with determination and grace, internalizing lessons that extend far beyond the practicalities of childhood. These observations cultivate a sense of security, confidence, and optimism, as the boys learn that challenges can be met with courage and that love, effort, and integrity form the foundation of meaningful life experiences. Amy's attentiveness extends to practical life skills as well. She involves the boys in meal preparation, teaching responsibility, nutrition, and the importance of contribution to shared tasks. She fosters independence, encouraging them to take initiative in personal routines, chores, and problem-solving, while remaining available to provide guidance and support when needed. These lessons in responsibility and accountability are woven seamlessly into daily life, reinforcing values of diligence, cooperation, and respect. Through repetition, observation, and positive reinforcement, Gage and Glenn gradually internalize these behaviors, developing confidence in their abilities and understanding the importance of contributing meaningfully to their household and community. The interplay of play, creativity, and structured guidance is central to Amy's parenting approach. She encourages artistic expression, imaginative play, and spontaneous exploration, recognizing that these experiences are critical for cognitive, social, and emotional development. She participates actively in these moments, demonstrating engagement, attentiveness, and enjoyment, reinforcing the importance of shared activity and relational bonding. Laughter, curiosity, and discovery punctuate the household, balancing the structure and responsibility with joy and connection. These interactions are not fleeting. They leave lasting impressions, creating memories that Gage and Glenn will carry into adulthood, shaping their understanding of family, love, and support. Even in moments of conflict or difficulty, Amy maintains a perspective grounded in empathy, consistency, and patience. She understands that mistakes, misunderstandings, and emotional turbulence are natural parts of development and growth. Rather than reacting with frustration or anger, she responds with guidance, reflection, and constructive feedback. She demonstrates that challenges are opportunities for learning, that emotions are valid, and that communication, understanding, and patience are tools for resolving difficulties. This approach nurtures resilience, problem-solving skills, and emotional maturity, equipping her children with the tools to navigate both immediate challenges and future complexities. Amy's dedication to Gage and Glenn is also reflected in the careful cultivation of a support system that surrounds them with stability, guidance, and love. Family members, close friends, and trusted mentors are not merely present in their lives. They are intentionally integrated into their development, providing models of positive behavior, encouragement, and reassurance. Amy is deliberate in her choices, ensuring that everyone who has influence over her children contributes to their growth rather than detracts from it. This network becomes especially vital during moments of stress or challenge, reinforcing lessons of resilience, empathy, and responsibility. Amy understands that while her presence is central, the community around her children significantly shapes their understanding of relationships, support, and the social world. She also emphasizes the importance of experiences that broaden their understanding of the world. She also emphasizes the importance of experiences that broaden their understanding of the world. Field trips, museum visits, community engagement, and outdoor exploration are more than recreational activities. They're opportunities for learning, observation, and personal growth. Amy encourages questions, experimentation, and curiosity during these activities, cultivating an environment where exploration is valued over rote learning. She uses these experiences to reinforce lessons of empathy, adaptability, and critical thinking, allowing her children to engage with their environment thoughtfully. Gage may ask probing questions about science or society, and Amy responds with a mix of guidance and encouragement, fostering both intellectual curiosity and independent thought. Glenn, absorbing these lessons at his own pace, learns through observation and reflection, developing patience, perspective, and emotional intelligence. Conflict resolution is another essential component of Amy's parenting approach. Sibling disagreements, emotional outbursts, and the everyday frustrations of childhood are met with a balance of firmness and compassion. Amy mediates these interactions, teaching her children to articulate feelings, recognize the emotions of others, and approach disputes constructively. She emphasizes fairness, empathy, and problem-solving, demonstrating that disagreements are natural and can be resolved respectfully. Over time, these lessons in communication and emotional regulation become internalized, equipping Gage and Glenn with tools to navigate social interactions and challenges, both within and outside of their household. Amy's consistent application of these principles ensures that discipline is not punitive, but instructive, fostering trust, mutual respect, and self-confidence. Education, both formal and informal, is woven into the fabric of everyday life. Amy extends learning beyond textbooks, integrating lessons into ordinary moments. Conversations about current events, science, history, and morality are framed in ways that are accessible, engaging, and meaningful for her children. She emphasizes the importance of asking questions, seeking understanding, and thinking critically, providing guidance while allowing space for independent reasoning. Through this approach, Gage and Glenn develop cognitive flexibility, problem-solving skills, and an appreciation for knowledge that is practical, ethical, and connected to real life. Amy's dedication to their intellectual development demonstrates her understanding that education is not merely about academic success, but about preparing them to navigate the complexities of the world with confidence and integrity. Amy also prioritizes emotional health and well-being in a deeply intentional manner. She regularly engages Gage and Glenn in conversations about feelings, encouraging self-expression and emotional literacy. She teaches them to identify emotions, communicate effectively, and practice empathy, fostering awareness of their own inner experiences and those of others. When challenges arise, whether personal frustrations or external stressors, Amy guides her children in coping strategies that emphasize reflection, resilience, and constructive action. These lessons are reinforced consistently, shaping their emotional foundation and equipping them to handle adversity with composure, understanding, and adaptability. Her personal experiences profoundly inform her parenting philosophy. Having faced intense public scrutiny, health challenges, and personal growth journeys, Amy brings a depth of insight and resilience to her role as a mother. She demonstrates perseverance, self-awareness, and the importance of balancing personal needs with the needs of her children. Through her actions, Gage and Glenn witness a model of determination, integrity, and thoughtful decision-making, internalizing lessons that extend far beyond immediate instruction. Amy's lived experience provides a rich framework from which her children can learn, reflecting both the challenges and rewards of life navigated with intentionality, courage, and care. Physical health and routine are carefully managed under Amy's guidance. Meals are planned with attention to nutrition, variety, and taste, fostering healthy habits while encouraging participation and responsibility in meal preparation. Physical activity is integrated naturally into daily life through play, organized activity, and exploration, teaching the importance of movement, endurance, and enjoyment. Amy's guidance instills an understanding that health is holistic, encompassing physical, emotional, and mental dimensions, and that consistent care in all areas contributes to overall well-being. Even moments of leisure, are infused with intention. Playtime, creativity, and spontaneous exploration are encouraged, allowing Gage and Glenn to develop imagination, problem-solving skills, and emotional flexibility. Amy participates actively in these activities, modeling engagement, curiosity, and enthusiasm, reinforcing connection and mutual enjoyment. These moments of joy are not superficial. They provide emotional nourishment, strengthen bonds, and create enduring memories. Laughter, shared discovery, and cooperative play cultivate a sense of belonging and confidence that complement structured lessons and guidance, creating a balanced environment for growth. Amy's approach to parenting is consistent yet adaptable, blending structure with flexibility, discipline with empathy, and guidance with freedom. She recognizes that childhood is a dynamic and evolving process, requiring continual observation, adjustment, and responsiveness. She navigates these demands with awareness, care, and intentionality, ensuring that both Gage and Glenn experience stability, love, and growth. Her influence permeates all aspects of their development, from social skills and emotional intelligence to intellectual curiosity and physical health. The impact of her care is profound, laying a foundation for resilience, empathy, confidence, and lifelong connection. Ultimately, the story of Amy Slaton and her children is one defined by love, resilience, and the intricate weaving of daily life into lasting foundations of growth and connection. Every choice, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every moment of quiet reflection, and every burst of laughter contributes to the ongoing narrative of their lives. Amy knows that the world will continue to observe, critique, and speculate, but she is unwavering in her dedication to Gage and Glenn, prioritizing their emotional and physical well-being above all external pressures. The public may see only fragments of their lives, the smiling faces, the dramatic moments, but the depth of her devotion and the richness of the children's experience exist in the unseen, unrecorded moments that form the essence of family life. Amy understands that love is active, not passive, and it requires constant engagement, attention, and intentionality. She continues to shape their environment to foster growth, independence, and security. Gage's curiosity and assertiveness are nurtured with guidance, giving him the confidence to explore and question the world while understanding the importance of empathy and consideration for others. Glenn's reflective nature is cultivated through patience, conversation, and gentle encouragement, helping him develop emotional awareness and resilience. Their contrasting personalities are harmonized through Amy's consistent presence and thoughtful intervention, creating a household that balances individuality with family cohesion, freedom with responsibility, and exploration with guidance. The children's emotional growth remains a central focus. Amy continues to teach them how to recognize and express their feelings, manage frustration, and navigate relationships with care and integrity. She models empathy, self-reflection, and constructive communication, allowing her sons to internalize these behaviors through observation and practice. Each conflict, disappointment, or challenge becomes a learning opportunity, a chance for Gage and Glenn to develop coping strategies, problem-solving skills, and a deeper understanding of themselves and others. Amy's approach demonstrates that true guidance is not about control or perfection, but about providing the tools and support to navigate life thoughtfully, compassionately, and independently. Education, creativity, and intellectual curiosity are emphasized alongside emotional development. Amy ensures that learning is integrated into everyday life, transforming ordinary experiences into meaningful lessons. Whether exploring a science concept through observation in the backyard, discussing historical events during shared reading, or engaging in imaginative play, the boys are encouraged to ask questions, seek understanding, and develop critical thinking skills. Amy fosters creativity and self-expression, supporting artistic endeavors, imaginative storytelling, and problem-solving exercises. She understands that these experiences cultivate not only knowledge but confidence, adaptability, and the joy of discovery, enriching their lives far beyond formal schooling. Amy's children are also introduced to broader life lessons through exposure to diverse experiences, community engagement, and family interactions. Field trips, social events, cultural activities, and nature excursions provide opportunities for observation, interaction, and reflection. Amy uses these moments to teach practical skills, ethics, empathy, and appreciation for diversity, helping her children develop a worldview that values understanding, respect, and curiosity. Each experience reinforces lessons in resilience, communication, and adaptability, building both competence and confidence in navigating the complexities of the wider world. In her approach, Amy blends structure with spontaneity, creating a household that is both stable and flexible. Daily routines establish a sense of security and predictability, while play, exploration, and creative activities allow for freedom, discovery, and joy. She skillfully integrates instruction with experience, balancing teaching moments with opportunities for independent exploration. Gage and Glenn learn responsibility, accountability, and self-sufficiency through intentional guidance, observation, and participation, while also benefiting from the emotional nourishment of play, connection, and shared experience. The combination of consistency, flexibility, and intentionality forms a framework that supports growth, confidence, and resilience. Amy's personal journey and resilience serve as an ongoing model for her children. Through her experiences navigating health challenges, public scrutiny, and personal transformation, she demonstrates perseverance, self-compassion, and the importance of intentional choices. Gage and Glenn witness the ways their mother confronts adversity, adapts to change, and maintains her values in the face of pressure. These observations provide lessons in courage, problem-solving, and the importance of integrity, allowing the boys to internalize behaviors and attitudes that will guide them throughout their lives. Amy's lived experience, interwoven with daily parenting, creates a rich context from which her children can draw inspiration, understanding, and guidance. The culmination of Amy's dedication is evident in the depth of connection she shares with Gage and Glenn. Their relationship is defined by trust, openness, and love. Moments of intimacy, whether through conversation, play, or shared reflection, reinforce the security and attachment that underpin their emotional development. The boys learn to express themselves confidently, navigate challenges thoughtfully, and engage with the world empathetically because of the consistent modeling, guidance, and love provided by Amy. Each milestone, each small success, and each shared moment is a testament to the enduring impact of her dedication, presence, and intentionality. Even in the face of challenges, setbacks, or exhaustion, Amy's commitment to her children never wavers. She approaches parenting as an evolving process, requiring continual observation, reflection, and adaptation. She recognizes that the world around them is unpredictable, that challenges will arise, and that the lessons she imparts must equip her children to navigate both success and adversity. Her dedication ensures that Gage and Glenn are not only prepared for immediate circumstances, but also possess the resilience, empathy, and confidence to thrive throughout life. Amy's consistent engagement, thoughtful guidance, and emotional presence form a foundation that will support them long after childhood, shaping their identities, values, and understanding of love. In the end, the story of Amy Slaton and her children is not defined by fame, public scrutiny, or the sensational moments that appear in headlines or reality television. It is defined by the quiet, intentional, and unwavering devotion that permeates every aspect of her relationship with Gage and Glenn. Every choice, every lesson, every shared laugh, every tear, and every small moment of care contributes to the shaping of two young lives. The love that binds them is both a shield against the pressures of the outside world and a guiding light for the boys as they grow. It is this devotion, consistency, and intentionality that forms the true narrative of their lives, a story of family, resilience, growth, and enduring love that exists far beyond the lens of the camera, in the private, profound moments that define the heart of motherhood.